Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, guys. Today we're going to discuss a very serious issue. It's about existentialism or existential crisis. Like yesterday, I was going through the comment section of a particular video. I think it's a blogging theology or something like this. And I saw a brother there. He wrote a message. He was saying, hello, guys, or something, that he has been going through this for like 2 years. He ended up leaving his faith. He became an atheist. And now he's trying to come back to his faith. And it's like, someone should help him or something. And one of the reasons he put there was that he studied existentialism, absurdism or something like this. And funny enough, I've been making videos about this, if you've been seeing my channel, where I'm showing how you can transcend it. And I felt like it's directed to me somehow, that I needed to give a response to this, because I've gone through this myself. So this video is going to be about that. I'm going to explain to you what the real issue is. Why is it that you become an atheist and still you want meaning? You want to come back? What is that? Are you not supposed to be happy all of a sudden when you become an atheist? No. And we're going to discuss all of that today. It's a very serious issue, by the way. Many people don't think about it. They take it for granted. But it's not as simple as you think. Now, for those people that are going through this, you that are going through this existential crisis, existentialism, you think nothing makes sense, religion doesn't make sense, doesn't have answers either, everything is just by faith, there's no concrete proof for anything, you just have to have hope somehow in things, and you are lost in the world. There's no meaning. And even if you try to, like, let's say, you know what, finally I'm free, all the shackles of religion, don't do this, don't do that, now I can do them, go and do them. And then after doing them for long enough time, your body gives up. Your body gives in. Somehow there's a limit on your body. Then you start to see those limits that even if you want to, it doesn't let you. The body somehow starts controlling you. Anything it wants, you have to succumb to. Anything, when it gets tired and you're not tired, the body just gives in. You're not in charge of it. And so you're stuck. And what is the whole point of the existentialist is that, yes, the world is meaningless. The world is silent. The universe is silent. Of anything of value, of anything of meaning. But you as an individual person, as a conscious being, you want meaning. You're craving meaning. And there's no meaning to find. Once you have those two things, there's no meaning, and you're craving meaning, you're not going to find anything. What would you find? Nothing. There's nothing to find. So, it's either you create some kind of meaning yourself without any foundation. That's what you're going to have to do. Or you're going to accept it. That's the absurd. To accept that it doesn't have meaning, there's no meaning. So what? Brave it and live like that. So, you as a Muslim, I wondered, like, how did we get to this level? How did we get to this stage? As a Muslim, how did we, as an individual, get to this stage? And since that brother said he studied existentialism, I wanted to show him something that maybe he doesn't even actually understand Islam. It's not derogatory, okay? I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm saying, remember, in existentialism, the whole idea is the individual. The individual is important. For instance, they focus on death. Everyone will die. They talk about death a lot, and they bring it to bear in front of you to make you see it. It's not just everyone dies anyway. You know, all those syllogism, logic, and say, all mortals, all human beings are mortal. Socrates is a human being, therefore Socrates is mortal. But that has no meaning. It's just it's logical. You will die. You. Not everyone dies. That kind of makes it you kind of lose the experience. But if you know you will die at any moment from now, while you're watching this video, afterwards you can die. Literally, there's nothing. The world will not be surprised if you died right now. Nothing happens. And if there's no meaning to that, if you understand this, then your existence is meaningless. You didn't choose to come here. You didn't choose the limits you met here. You cannot choose when you go. And you cannot choose what the world feels about that. The world doesn't care. It's like talking to a brick wall, if you understand what they are really saying. So If you find yourself in that position, there's only one way out: to transcend it. If it is logic, if all they are saying is true, there's no point. The only way is that way that they made derogatory in that their system. Camus, he gave three options. He said the first option is committing suicide. That's one option. The other option is fate. Okay, fate. The last option is to accept the meaninglessness. Me, I'm saying, wait a moment, guys. Sorry about that. Me, I'm saying that option, that second option, they call it philosophical suicide. They call it whatever they call it, mythology. That option is what you can use to get out of it. And it's not just going to be, what if we form a mythology today? That is not going to work. You need a true mythology, a true faith that is not just based on gambling between meaninglessness and meaning. You need a faith that transcends, that is truly objective, that you believe is truly objective. Do you understand? When I think there's no meaning and I'm trying to create another meaning, while knowing there's no meaning at the bottom of it, that's rubbish. That's just play. But if you truly believe there's meaning, okay, that is what we are talking about here. That's what you have as a Muslim, but you didn't realize it. Now you have gotten to a level, you need help. Okay? Use this same existential tool that got you to where you are to get out of where you are. Remember, if life is meaninglessness, anything is permitted. Start from that. Anything is permitted. You can literally do anything. Believe, don't believe, whatever, you can. Once you understand that first, that you can do anything, it's not derogatory to believe or not to believe. It's indifferent. If you understand your paradigm, it's indifferent to anything. Whether you believe or you don't believe, you will both die. It has no meaning. It's all rubbish. Right? Start from there. But you're going to take it up a notch because you don't believe. We don't believe, for instance, that the world is silent or is meaningless and all of that. Because we transcend what we observe in the physical world. But let's not move too fast. Let's use the same tool that they're using. Thrown into the world. This is a term from Heidegger, right? We are thrown into the world. And it's true. I didn't choose. There wasn't a time I remember when I said, you know what, I want to exist. I want to come here. I didn't do that. I just found myself here. In a particular community I didn't choose. With a particular physical makeup I didn't choose. With a particular circumstance I didn't choose any of that. Beyond my control. All of it is beyond you. You didn't choose any of that. You found yourself in a place with a particular group of people. But then, at one point in your life, you are conscious, you are aware of this, that somehow I exist. And then you are able to do what is called self-reflection on your entire paradigm itself. That this society I'm born into, some of these things are just conventional. They are not necessary. Why are they doing this? You start questioning why of everything. Start asking questions of why. Right? So, this is where the dilemma comes from. When you ask why and you don't get answers, you eventually be like, there's no answer. I wish it ended there, but it doesn't. You're still left you are still existing. You're still going to have to find some answer somehow. It's not like you find that life has no meaning and then you're supposed to be comforting. It's not supposed to be comforting to you. If you are comforted by that fact, you don't understand it yet. You're still small level. If you're comforted by the fact that it has no meaning and let's celebrate, no, you're supposed to. It's not a joke. That's the point I'm making. There's nothing you can do. If you like, freak out. If you don't freak out. It doesn't matter anyway. But the point is, it's not a joke. Any disposition you will have towards that might even be mythology, if you can go deep enough. But the point is this. This is where the tension is coming from. Now I believe you. Why would a Muslim eventually leave Islam or something like this? I believe one of the reasons is that you're making Islam too complicated, one, and you probably don't understand Islam. What is the core of Islam? If you understand the core beliefs of Islam, you will realize that I don't even have to do a lot of stuff. I'm serious. Funny enough, as funny as that might sound, how difficult is it to believe that believe in a God that created you. You believe we are thrown into the world. Thrown by who? Start from there. I was thrown by somebody that cannot be thrown because of infinite regress. Whatever. That's a simple argument for the existence of God right there. Right? We are thrown into the world. I don't know why. I just found myself here, and I didn't bring myself here. I know that. I'm conscious of that. I didn't bring myself here. That's all. Alas, I must have been thrown by somebody. Therefore, what do I do now after that? If you believe that that's believing God, you're not an atheist anymore. Just by believing that, you're not an atheist anymore. You don't believe in any religion yet. Just by believing that there's a God, you're not an atheist. Okay? There's more to it, but you see how simple I'm saying that it is. It's simple. Believe or not believe. I believe there's a God. Okay, that's one. Then the second thing is this. You have a particular you have disposition to things. For instance, remember we're looking for meaning. If we don't want meaning, then we'll just go for the meaninglessness and we don't even have to disturb ourselves. But we want meaning. And we have some kind of innate disposition to things. For instance, the concept of justice, evil and good, morality, those things, right? We want them to have meaning rather than just anything goes. We want there to be meaning, right? So, you as a Muslim, remember we are examining you. You probably just took on religion from your parents. You've never experienced it. There's nothing like experience. If you have experienced what true Islam is, you will not be like someone that hasn't experienced it, that just took it as a dogma. You will not be the same. Someone that has experienced it will know what it means. For instance, remember the Sahabas? Some of the Sahabas, they will tell you like, see, we were polytheists before. We were like this before. When we accept Islam, we know what it means. We know the value. You might not know. We will know what we accepted and what we had to do to accept it. In a way, I want to say everyone should go through this process of redefining and refining themselves, but it's a dangerous path. So teleologically, because you might end up losing your foot somewhere. But some people, they just go through it anyway, and they find their feet. And that's what I'm trying to do in this video, to try and help you stamp your feet somewhere eventually. That it's okay to stay here. It's okay. There is no answer anywhere else. Stay here. That's my point. Stay here. It's okay. If there's no meaning, there's no other answer anywhere, why don't you stay here? It's not gonna bite you. You can stay here and everything will be fine. So, and since you even have hope and you even get more reward than just staying here for the sake of it. You're not staying here for the sake of it. You're staying here because that's your anchor to meaning. That's what you're holding on to for meaning. And once you let that go, it's all over. So, you are taking religion from people. You don't truly know why you believe. If you go through that, and it's through despair that some people see this. For instance, my own method was that there was a point in my life that I wanted to do whatever I want. I've enjoyed many stuff and it kind of dawned on me that these enjoyments, they're always limited. Anytime you go into, let's say you want to watch rubbish stuff or it's either food or sex. Those are the two things that mostly drive people. Food, sex, or mainly anything you see you do sin. One of the things that drive people to atheism is that they cannot stop sinning. They're like, I'm always sinning. Why? I've even seen people saying, why did God give me this body? Watch my video about theory of Casp and Asherite theology. Anyway, the point is that it's always going to be about it's about food or sex. When I say food, it means your sustenance even. Where are you going to get food from? You're scared of hunger. You're scared of poverty. Poverty alone, the amount of things that baggage that is attached to that in our existence is a lot. Okay? And also sex, sexual pleasure. Those are the two things that will always drive people to do things. But me, I think, just bring put this food and sex stuff, put it here, and then bring death. Bring the concept of death, if you truly understand it subjectively. Individualize it. They pale in comparison. They fade away. You bring death into the frame. They fade away. Because you can literally die the next moment. Every moment of your existence is not a guarantee that you will be there. You can literally die. Also, those enjoyments, they're always limited. When you eat to a certain level. The food is sweet, but your mouth is done. Your stomach is done. You might not be done, but you're done. You're done. Your body's done. Even sexual, listen to, you will get to a point your body will be like, I'm done. And you want it to continue, but it doesn't. You're done. That's it. You'll be like, why? Why though? Oh, you kind of accept it that that's how we are built. You have accepted defeat. You don't understand. That's why most existentialists, they are anti-essentialists, because they reject those kind of, we are like this. They will even reject human nature, in my own opinion. They will reject it. They will reject any form of convention that you just accept because that's how things are. No, they want to reject that. Anyway, the thing is, you have made Islam complicated. To me, in my own opinion, if you understand, believe in God, one God, that's already a lot of Islam already. One God, believe in one God. Worship. Okay, worship. Do something. There's nothing. Worship. You can do that. You can put that in your plan to worship that one God. Don't worship any other thing. That is almost 90% of what Islam is. If you understand what I just said now. You don't worship any other thing. You worship one God. Okay? That's it. Tawheed. That right there. There's no point in leaving that. There's no point in saying I don't want to, like, since there's no meaning in the world already. If you do this or you do something else, there's no really big deal. That's what I'm trying to show you. There's no big deal in staying and doing that. You can. And because, and you even, is even more. It's a true mythology. It's not just any mythology for the sake of it. It's a strong one. It has a lot of basis. It has a lot of baggage that a lot of people make you want to think is necessary, but it's not. At the essence of it, it's actually very simple. Okay? A lot of people in the past, I believe they were ignorant. And that's why they went and they do weird stuff. But we today, we can see clearly that the main essence is monotheism. Believing in one God that created us, that threw us into this world to exist for a reason. See, that's where you can start building up your meaning from a meaningless world. A silent, indifferent world. You can build meaning out of that by transcending it. Where is this your transcendence coming from? I've been saying this transcendence thing is by not being attached to the things of the body, food and sex. Don't be attached to that. Don't be scared of food, that you'll be poor. That's not the Muslim way, is to not be scared of these things. Food, don't be scared of death even. Be scared of the state in which you die. Do you still believe when you are dying? Are you doing good before you die? Those are the things we focus on, not those things themselves. So if you can eliminate just food and sexual stuff, you will see like a lot of things, you will calm down. Everything will become simple to me. So understand that Islam at its core is actually very simple. It's not something you live as you are, I'm living. What you're living is actually not particularly monotheism or believing God. Because it's not biting you. What you are living is either you want to be free. Like, I want to be free to do some things that Islam says don't do. That's what you are. That's the reason. It's not really believing God to me. God is not there for you to fight. Okay? God is there to ground your existence, the meaning of your existence. And those rules that you follow, they are good anyway. Why should I drink alcohol? Oh, the Dasma, the people, which they said we should drink alcohol. We are the people who drink alcohol. Why don't you be a people that don't drink alcohol? Why don't you be a people that follow a specific rule? It can be any rule. We follow this one. Okay, I want to follow this one. Why can't I do that? You can. It's not going to do anything to you. Right? And if you understand the limits of the body and the limits of your lifespan, those things will not have any meaning, because you are not limited to this world. You want to transcend it to a world that has more fullness of pleasure. This world, if you plunge into it, you feel pain at the end of it. Go and eat, you become fat, and then suddenly you have diabetes, and then you're going to die. Or when you eat too much, you go to the toilet, or you eat too. You see, like, eventually, no one will tell you before you start eating in moderation, which is an Islamic teaching. No one will tell you before you start dieting, fasting. No one will tell, because your death will start showing itself to you that, bro, the body is done. That's limits. You will die. So you start dieting. Okay? No one, we want to eat, but somehow you, rich people, they eat small food. Why? Because they are scared of death. They don't want to die. Sex, go and do it. You will do it to a certain level, you become numb. You will not even value women anymore. If you take it too seriously, you will just become numb to all these things, and it will be meaningless at the end of the day. You will find yourself in a bad place. That abstinence for some of these things, not total abstinence, of course, but don't take them too seriously. Don't make them the focus of your life, food and sex, such that you will now live a religion that is trying to control that. Or take, for instance, hijab. You leave Islam because of hijab. You want to show yourself. Come on, man. You know, why? Why would you do that? Now you have shown yourself, now what? It doesn't make any sense. That's the point. Do it as if you're going to get some answers somewhere. Go and do it. Remove your hijab, remove your clothes. Go. Do whatever you like. That's the point. It doesn't get you anything. The world is meaningless. Remember, once you let go of your rope of meaning, now it's meaningless. Do whatever you like. No problem. But don't think you found anything. That's the point. If you think you found something, you are just deluding yourself. You're creating another mythology. But on this basis, this mythology is meaningless. It's baseless. Okay? So we are the people, we have hope. Let me add one thing. Let me talk about the will. The will to believe. William James, he talks about this. If you have that will, if you still have that craving to believe in God, go for it. The world is meaningless. Go for it. You have nothing to lose. Go for that. Hold on to that meaning. Let go of the things of the body. The pleasure in them is very small. And if you understand my theory of cusp, the way I was explaining in another video, it's all a test for you. You're not in control of even that, but it's a test. What would you do with that? Okay? And I'll make more videos for this. But the point is, I want to help people that are going through this similar thing. You're Muslim and you're about to leave Islam or something similar for some reasons. Ask yourself, is it about food or sex? If it's not about that, if it's about meaning, life is meaningless. Stay here. It's okay. It's a soft dawah I'm doing. I'm calling you like in a soft way. You have nothing to benefit me. I have nothing to benefit you per se. And if you individualize yourself, you realize that I can make this decision to stay here and believe. Because there's no other place that is better. Do you understand? Stay here. Anyway, let me see if I can add one more thing before we end. So remember, the core of Islam, go and find that. That's why, some people, they say, study Aqidah first, theology. Because that's where you understand what the real essence of the religion is. Go and study Islamic history of the theology itself. Study that. Understand. That's why you see that theory of Qasb. That was the one doctrine I was able to take immediately. And I even saw like a contrast between it and the existentialist. Okay, I saw it. Because the theory of Qasb, kind of, the Asharite theory of Qasb is kind of anti-essentialist. Kind of. Okay? We believe life ultimately has meaning. And that meaning, our craving is not meaningless. They are saying the craving is meaningless because there's nothing to find. We will say there's something to find. But you cannot find it in the things of the world. You have to transcend to find it. You have to have hope, faith. It's not derogatory. That's your only chance. Go for that. Since everything is permitted. If everything is permitted, you should go for that. Signs of kind of Pascal's wager, but it's not. It's not Pascal's wager. Go for it. You have nothing to lose. Okay? And the things of the body, they will not satisfy you. You will want more and more. And you will not be satisfied. Since this is an existentialist video, it doesn't matter. I'm not It's not specific in a particular way. It's whatever. Whatever you get from it, maybe it will help you. I hope it helps you eventually to come back and realize that let's stay here together. The people of meaning, we stay here and we have hope and faith in God. Eventually, justice will be served. If you do good, you'll be rewarded. If you do evil, you'll be rewarded for it. And that's what we stand for. That there's meaning, that's the meaning. Justice. Worshipping one God. That is Islam. That is the core of our belief. Anyway, let me see what you guys think in the comment section. See you guys later. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.